throw me a subscribe because gameplay audio is back. All right, Catanians, cities and nights, but I finally got into a lobby where we played on a scenario that was not the first island. This is Heading for New Shores. I have played this one recently, but this one's a good game, and I look forward to playing another Cities and Nights game very soon on a different Seafarers expansion. But for this one, we had a very good game, and me and one player were the only competitive ones in the game in terms of staying neck and neck, and we just blasted way ahead in terms of victory points. You're going to see that play out. So we started with purple, placing on the 6-10-9, and I'm always used to being green, so I thought I was next, and I was like, wait a minute, it's not letting me place anywhere. I'm like, oh, green is actually someone else. I am going dead last in this game of Catan, but it's not all bad because there's some pretty good spots on this main island, and if I play my cards right, I may be able to get on some good spots. So green goes ahead, builds on the spot that I was going to build on when I thought I was green, that 6 ore with the 9 and 5 wheat, and then points it right over to all those sheep hexes. Now, I got to make a decision because I'm either going to build on sheep or I'm not going to build on sheep whatsoever, and just hope that the other players who did build on sheep will be willing to trade. So I kind of have to figure that one out. And you see that red still leaves that really good, that's a good spot in my opinion. You go on the 4-5 sheep with the sheep port, like it's just wide open, it's just staring me right in the face. But you know me, I gotta get some paper, I gotta get some coin, cloth. Man, cloth would also be nice. I considered building my settlement on the 4-5 sheep with the sheep port, and then building my city on the 5 wheat, 8-10 lumber, so I could get the paper going, and then hopefully trade in my sheep at a 2-for-1 rate for other things that I needed. But I just could not pass up the 6 ore with the 10 ore and 11 wheat and point my road towards the wheat port, because remember, not only is that a good spot, but in Heading for New Shores, if you build on one of the smaller islands, you get 2 extra victory points. So I was like, why not build it on that ore spot, point it to the 3-for-1 port, and then from there, hop on over to the 4 sheep, build on that island for a grand total of 3 victory points on top of whatever I have at that point in the game. And then if I'm lucky, I can get over to this ore port, but you know, that's a really hot spot too. Okay, so green for their city goes ahead, takes the wheat port, because you see they have the 9-5 wheat, and if purple does not build on those 3 sheep hexes, and bam, they go ahead, they build on the ore port, so they block me off. Now, green has a very good setup. All they have to do is wagon wheel it around to the sheep port, try to beat red to the sheep port, and they are in very good shape. Now, if red gets beat to the sheep port, it's not all over for red, because red's starting settlement is on the 8 brick with the 10 lumber, and they placed a ship instead of a road, so they're already looking forward to getting to that extra island at the bottom of your screen, which has a brick hex and a gold hex. So not a bad strategy from them. So everyone's actually doing really well, because you see purple also built a ship off their starting city, and I'm just like, how are they not going to go for that 8 gold? They're definitely going for the 8 gold. Everyone in their shoes would do the exact same thing. So they can build 2 ships and go get on that 8 gold and the 4 brick, just to have a little more brick, you know, more resources coming in. But that 8 gold, that's what I would go for. That was my whole intention with building my starting city on the 5 wheat with 8-10 lumber. Get on those ore port, because I have 2 good ore hexes, and then from there, just blast over to the gold, and I would have almost a bulletproof strategy, I would say. But I didn't get to try it out, so who knows if it is indeed almost bulletproof. So the cards are rolling in like crazy. This is always a good time when your resource production is very high at the very beginning of the game. Your numbers are just getting rolled a lot, and things are happening. So you have the confidence that you're going to build a knight, activate it, and then additionally be able to do some other stuff like pay for some city improvements, maybe build a road, maybe even build a city before the barbarians arrive, which would cause someone to have to lose a city, assuming you can also place a knight and protect your own 2 cities. If you do that, very, I would say toxic for other people, but not for you. It's just a toxic strategy because, well, I guess it could be toxic to you because if you place a second city on the board before the barbarians attack, chances are someone won't be able to build a knight for themselves to protect their city, and thus the barbarians will win, and they will have to burn a city, and the players will definitely hate you after doing that, because even if you have to lose a city, you built 2 cities, so you're going to still be left with 1, whereas other players are going to be back to just 2 settlements. We all know how hard it is to climb out of that hole to get a city back on the board and then continue trying to do well in any Cities and Knights with any Seafarers expansion. Okay, back to green. Everyone's still at 3 points. There's the 7. And green and red get a yellow progress card. I'm kind of jealous, but I didn't build on sheep, so I'm not getting any cloth. I have to either steal it or hope they trade cloth, but it's very rare that players will trade commodities. Now, if players leave and they're replaced by AIs will trade commodities here and there for stuff they need. It's totally plausible. I've seen it happen a good amount of times. So that's kind of my 2 options there. Unless they're really desperate for a wheat to activate a knight, then a human player will probably not trade a commodity because they know trading it to you, you're going to just turn around and use it, and then you're going to potentially start getting progress cards because of that, and then you could just use it right back on that player later on in the game. So resource monopoly, and now let's see what I roll. A nice 6. Man, I wish I had a city on that 6 ore, but I'm so close. I have the backwards combination of what I need. I have 3 wheat and 2 ore when I need 3 ore and 2 wheat. And of course, no one wants my wheat because they probably sense that not only was I going to place a city right there on that spot, but also it looks like everyone who has knights, they're all activated. So red is the only one without a knight, and I guess they didn't want the wheat. I don't know maybe they already have a wheat, but they're not built on wheat, so kind of curious on that one. They probably didn't want to give up their precious sheep because they would only give it up for a wheat and an ore. But we'll see what happens here. Will they usher in? They will, and they will burn a city, and I love to see it. Even though it sucks for other players, I love seeing it because now I know that they've been set back in such a huge way at the beginning of the game that I'm just going to be able to keep doing my strategy, doing my thing, and it's going to take a lot for them to catch up. And the only thing is, now that they had to burn that city, they had it on a 6 sheep and a 4 sheep. So at this point, it looks like green is the clear indicator, clear person who's going to be able to get that yellow metropolis because they have a city on a 5 sheep. Plus they have a settlement on the 5 wheat, 9 wheat, and they can 2 for 1 wheat, maybe for cloth if they're trying to get to level 3 on the yellow city improvements, or even get to level 4 later on. So it's now that red is downgraded, they're not going to be able to get any more cloth. They're not going to be able to. You can't spend any commodities unless you have a city. That's another key critical point in Cities and Knights. So it really seems like green will get the yellow metropolis without a doubt. So I got to focus on getting the blue metropolis and maybe even the green metropolis, because if I can hold those away from other players and have them for myself, that's going to really help me out. And purple, as expected, starts their journey towards that 8 gold. They need 1 more ship to get there. And off that cloth, I get a wedding. So I am in the lead, so I can't really use wedding. So I'm going to hope And okay, here we go. We got green using merchant, so now they're up to 4 victory points. Maybe they'll build something on this turn, get up to 5 victory points, and I can use wedding on them on my turn. There it is. Oh joy, I'm going to be stealing cards from green. I'm going to be stealing cards from a player this early on in the game. That's wonderful. Now commercial, uh-oh, my paper's going. There goes my paper because they can, I have to give them a commodity if they choose to trade with me in that, with Commercial Harbor, and they give me a resource. So, it looks like they're doing it with red. I guess red maybe had a leftover cloth. Which if they get that, then they'll probably be able to get the trade bonus here on their turn. Now green has 2 cities on the board, but so do I. So, right now we're pretty neck and neck. Oh, missing player. Okay, there goes the cloth over to green. And red just leaves the game. Now, reds, even though they had to burn a city, they weren't totally, kaputs on the outs because they still, and there goes the trade bonus. Red still had the ship pointing down towards the brick and gold hex at the bottom of your screen. So if they could have stuck with it, you never know. Because once you start building on those special islands, your victory points really start jumping up. If they can get a city back on the board later on, then they're in good shape. So I don't know why they left, but, to each their own. Now it's down to 3 human players. So don't let it go down below 2 human players, or that's no fun, because then you're just playing against computers. And what's the joy, what's the satisfaction in that? Not as much satisfaction as beating human players. Okay, so the 9 was rolled. And I don't have a 9, so I'm going to have to hope that I can get a inventor later on, because I really want a 9. I don't want to have an 11 wheat up there at the top of your screen. I want to get rid of that. I'll probably get rid of it for a 9. All my other numbers are doing pretty good. If I get Alchemist, I'd Alchemist a 10, so I'm going to keep my 10s where they are, just for the fact that I'll probably get Alchemist, because I have some Green City improvements. And that'll help me out. That'll be a big roll for me, a 10. And you also notice that green is not built on a 10, and that's like my, so far my main competition. So if I can Alchemist a 10, it calls them to get 0 cards on that turn, and me get at least 4 cards, that's a good roll in my book. Okay, so there goes the 5. Okay, so not only do they get more cloth, they also have merchant on sheep. And these resource monopoly took some wheat, so they have essentially a sheep port and a wheat port right now. And will they get, what is their game plan here? Okay, a road and a settlement, so further cutting off red on the main island. And now they are in a prime position, because I know their production is very good, to get that sheep port. I really don't see red, and now red's an AI. I don't know what the AI is going to do, but I really don't see the AI going for that sheep port, or being able to get there before green. So this is an interesting turn of events. I thankfully don't roll a 7 when I have more than 7 cards. I have 7 wheat in my hand. How crazy is that? I roll a 2 because, of course, that would happen on my turn when I needed a roll that was actually one of my numbers. But I'm going to use another wedding. Weddings are supposed to be fun. Well, they're fun for me, but they're not fun for green right now. So green just gave me more cards. And then I use Merchant Fleet on wheat. So now I have 9 wheat. I have a lot of 2-for-1 trading to do on this turn before my turn ends and Merchant Fleet goes away. So I'm going to be 2-for-1ing this wheat, but what for? So I'm going to go ahead, get science level 2. I'm like, you know what? I have a bunch more wheat. Why not get the science bonus this early on and be good to go for the rest of the game? Now when something like a 2 gets rolled or a 9 gets rolled, I'm still going to get a resource. But not when a 7 gets rolled. When a 7 gets rolled, no one gets any resources except for the person moving the robber and taking from someone else. So the Barbarians do not advance. We're still keeping an eye on them. everyone has a level 1 knight. So at this point, we also got to watch to see who is going to build another knight. Or actually, I'm sorry, green has 2 level 1 knights, so they are in the lead right now to get Defender of Catan. So we're going to try to match them if we can, or even be higher in knight strength so we can get that victory point over them, because they're out at 6 victory points already. Red's still way back at 2. Purple hasn't done much, they're still at 3, but they look like they're getting ready to build on that 8 gold. So we'll keep an eye on that. You really gotta, not only do you have to play your own game, but you also have to watch what all the other players are doing as you progress through the game, especially in cities and knights, because there's so many things that can be, taken. You got Longest Road, you got the 3 metropolises, you got crucial settlement spots, Defender of Catan. Wow, there's really a lot of things you got to try to juggle, and you got to decide, okay, do I go for the metropolis here, or do I go for Longest Road, or do I try to steal a metropolis, or do I try to build more knights so that this player who has way more victory points than anybody else doesn't get another Defender of Catan victory point? So many variables, but that's why I love playing cities and knights. So I'm going to place down that second level 1 knight, activate it, because I see the barbarians are pretty close and they just advanced even further. So they're now 2 turns away from invading. So I want to be matched with green. And at this point, I'm really hoping that another player, red or purple, looking at you, will step up. But red did not build on any ore, nor did they build on any wheat. So to me, that kind of spells their defeat. How are you supposed to win if you don't build on wheat? And additionally, not only that, you didn't build on ore. I mean, they do have a brick port, and they did build on an 8 brick, but there's a settlement on that 8 brick. So how much brick are you really going to be able to trade in at a 2-for-1 rate? And they do have a 3-for-1 port, but they really need to get on that gold hex, but they really should have built on an ore or wheat hex. So I really don't see red winning this game. And then purple's kind of, they definitely did better with their starting placements, and they still have their city, and they did build on wheat and ore and sheep and lumber and brick. They built on all 5 resources, which is pretty good. So if they get on that gold hex with the brick and then maybe hop on over to the 9 ore right next to the 8 gold, I think purple's going to be in pretty good shape. Okay, so barbarians advance. 1 more barbarian roll, and they are here. And purple did, in fact, upgrade their level 1 knight to a level 2 knight. So at this point, me, purple, and green will each get a victory point, a progress card of our choice from any color stack right about now, because the barbarians are invading. So another 5. 5s are so hot this game, and you can just see all the sheep and cloth going to green, because they have that 5. It's not been shut down. It is just doing very well. But I have also shared the 5 wheat with them, so I'm benefiting from the wheat. I just need to make sure I can keep merchant on my wheat as much as possible. But merchant is currently with purple. But I have a merchant in my hands, so I'm going to bring it over next turn. And there we go. Not only does green get a metropolis, they also have road building, and perfect. Perfectly played. Could not have played it any better. And I'm very happy that they built towards the sheep port instead of the other way off of their newly built metropolis, because my plan that has been forming for a little while here is to actually, from my city on the 810 lumber, to sneak up to that 6 ore, 2 lumber, 3 brick spot and build a settlement on that, not only to keep green from having that pretty decent spot because of the 6 ore, but also to prevent green from having a chance to build out to the coastline to their right, and then have easy access to those extra islands. Because if they build a settlement on the coastline, let's say on the 2-3 with a 3-for-1 port, that's 1 victory point. And then they build over to maybe the 8 gold. That's 3 more victory points for a total of 4. And then they maybe just hop up to the 3 wheat on the other island above the 8 gold. That's 7 victory points. And with just 3 settlement placements. And they'll probably get Longest Road building out all this roads. So that's 9 victory points. And 8 plus 9, that's 17. That's the game, because we are playing to 17 victory points. So for me, I'm thinking I need to take that 6 ore spot that's remaining on the main island so I can shut off green from building over there, because I don't want them getting on that coastline, because if they get to the coastline, I think this is game over. So I really need to keep my fighting chance here. I am behind in victory points, but I don't think I'm out of the game yet. So I'm going to keep playing my game. I'm going to trade in a bunch of wheat, and here we go. I was able to finagle the computer for some trading and use resource monopoly. Bam, bam, bam. 2 roads and a settlement. That spot is mine. And then why not activate both my knights for the cherry on top? The barbarians are pretty far away from invading again, but just to be ready. And also to be able to chase away the robber off of my 8 lumber so I can get some more paper my way. Okay, so there's a 6. Got some coin. Now I got to work on that. Man, we got to work on 2 metropolises. We got to get the green metropolis, and then we got to get the blue metropolis, or vice versa, so that we can hold them from green. Because anyone else gets a metropolis before green, then no big deal. But if green starts acting like they're working for those metropolises, then we got an issue, because now they're at 9, and they're pretty close to double digits already, while everyone else is kind of lagging behind, myself included. Okay, 4. Okay, green rolled a 4. Doesn't help me whatsoever, but I did have a science bonus, so all hope is not yet lost. And I did get trade monopoly. So I know that green is getting cloth and coin. They are not built on lumber, so they do not have access to paper unless they trade for it. So I will keep an eye on that if they do trade for it, but they currently have green city improvements level 1, and they have blue city improvements level 2. So they're closer to getting the blue metropolis. So for me, I'm going to focus on the blue metropolis over the green one for right now. Of course, I'm going to try to get both, but for right now, it's going to be the blue one. And I build the city wall. I match green. I now have blue city improvements level 2, and red has yellow city improvements level 2, but man, if they can get a city back on that 6-4, then maybe they can start to think about taking that yellow metropolis from green, although I don't think green will let it happen whatsoever. I think they'll build the yellow city improvements level 5 way before that happens, but a guy can dream, right? So I was able to steal a cloth from green, and I might go for the level 3 on the yellow city improvements to get the trade bonus, just so I can trade in commodities at a 2-for-1 rate later down the road. But right now it's not super helpful to me, so I might just hold what I have. I might just get a second cloth, and then maybe I'll have merchant fleet, and then I'll be able to select cloth for that particular turn and trade in a 2-for-1 rate. But we'll just see how it goes. Another 4 gets rolled, and at this point I am prepared to build a city on my next turn, and I only have 1 settlement, so you already know where it's going, on that 6 ore with the 2 lumber and the 3 brick. So I am in a very good position to get that blue metropolis, and even better once I get the second city on the 6 ore and have 2 coin coming in per turn. That will be a very good look. Okay, so green rolls the 7. If they steal from me, which they probably will, I hope they do not take a wheat or an ore, because I'm trying to get this city. I mean, honestly, the best thing they could take from me would be the cloth. And nope, of course it's an ore. So, but over these next 2 dice rolls, I either have to have red or myself roll a number that is not mine, and also not a 7, so I can use science bonus, or I have to hope for a 6 or a 10. Both would be amazing, although my 10 lumber is shut down, which kind of halves the awesomeness of a 10 roll. Okay, there's a 9. Now what will I roll? Oh, another 9. Okay, that works. So I get crane, and which allows me to build a city improvement for the cost of 1 less commodity. But because green or anyone else is not close to taking the blue or green metropolises, I'm going to hold what I have with the science bonus, and then level 2 on the blue city improvements, and then just go for the city instead. So now I have 3 cities on the board. The barbarians have grown in strength because of that, but I have both my knights activated as well as green. I'm waiting for purple to activate their level 2 knight so they can once again tie it up. And then purple just leaves. I'm like, what happened? All you had to do was hop on that 8 gold and your game would have improved significantly. So the AI activates a level 2 knight and then builds another knight for purple, so maybe they're going to be the ones to get Defender of Catan. Okay, a 6 gets rolled. I get 2 coin. That second city is paying off nicely. But I see that green has merchant still, so I need to get a merchant and steal it back, because you remember, I figured out that there's 6 merchant cards in the yellow progress card stack out of 18 possible yellow progress cards. So if I can get merchant here pretty soon, I can steal it back, pull them back down out of double-digit victory points back to 9. Another 6 gets rolled. That is insane. So we were defeated, and it's just poor red. Red can't catch a break even when it's the AI subbing in for the humans. So they're back to 2 victory points. They really don't have much going on unless they can build on that extra island at the bottom of your screen. That just sucks. But I got to continue to play my game, so I'm going to use Trade Monopoly, steal a coin, and I just have all the coin right now. So I now have the politics bonus. I have the cards to build another city, but I don't have another settlement on the board to upgrade into a city. So at this point, I probably have to grab a metropolis. I'm still at 6 points. I have 12 cards. I got to do something this turn. And, building just a road is kind of boring, so why not shake it up? Why not get a metropolis? So grab a 3rd coin, and I have crane, which will act as my 4th coin, and the blue metropolis is mine, hopefully for the rest of the game. Now I'm kind of dividing my forces here, because not only do I have to protect my blue metropolis by trying to think about getting to level 5 so I can have it permanently, but I also have to get the green metropolis. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what green does, because at this point, green is my competition. It's just me and green battling it out. There's really no way the other 2 players are going to get back in this game. Even if they do build on one of those special islands, they're going to have to get some more cities out on the board and really ramp up their production, because we're already at the 28.5-minute mark in this video. You see we're only going to 44 minutes. So some crazy dice rolls would have to happen for them to get back in this, but I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, so now because I swapped an 11 with Inventor, green is loving those 11s. It's going to net them at this point, is it 3 wheat? And sheep. So that's 4 cards off an 11. They have 2 cities on the 5 sheep. Wow. They get 6 cards off a 5, because they also have a 5 wheat. Man, and there goes another 11. The game is just like, you know what? 11 was good for green. Let's just double down on that and not help Dupinator out in the slightest. I'm also Unorthodox Master of Games, as you all know. There goes a 7. I will get a green progress card. There is the Alchemist. So next turn, that Alchemist will probably be used for a 10, so that green will get nothing and I will get all the cards. Well, just 4 cards, but still a pretty good roll. And I will build a road, and I'm in prime position to build a settlement and get on a 3-for-1 port. Get on a port in general, I might add. Okay, so there goes the 8. Me and purple I'm gonna get some good lumber and paper, and there goes purple. Good job. Now you got on the 8 gold, you jumped up to 6 victory points, but you're gonna have to get another city on the board and go from there. Maybe purple can take longest road, aka longest shipping route, so that me and green don't have to worry about one of us getting it and then having to worry about trying to take it from the other person because we're in first and second place. So if purple could take longest road, that would be very helpful for me, because I would know that I could focus on just, securing metropolises rather than also having to spread my forces way too thin and also try to worry about longest road. So a 6 gets rolled, all the coin coming my way, and it's kind of tough because I'm definitely going to get on that 3-for-1 port, but I just saw green get the science bonus, so now I gotta go ahead and get that green metropolis ASAP. And red steals from green over me on the 6 ore shutdown, so I'm thankful for that. And here goes the alchemist. It's got to be a 10 because I'm going to get 4 cards off a 10. And it's a blue, so I will get a blue progress card. And you see that I switched instead of a 5 and a 5, I switched over to a 6 and a 4, with the red die being a 4, because that determines if you get a progress card or not, depending on how many city improvements you have. So I have 4 city improvements. Actually, I would have still got a blue progress card had I put a 5 and a 5. But I just wanted to be absolutely sure I didn't want to miss out on one, just in case the third die was like a green die, for example, because then I only have up to red die of 1, 2, 3, 4 opportunity to get a green progress card. But that's all going to change because I have 4 paper, spend it before someone else does, and I have a second metropolis. I have now jumped ahead of green, and the icing on the cake, let me build a city and be up to 12 victory points. We're now 5 away from victory, but you gotta see that green has got a bunch of sheep and cloth coming in probably in the next couple turns. They also have a sheep port and a wheat port. Wow, they still have the merchant on the ore. So essentially they have 3 ports on basically the 3 best resources on Cities Tonight. You got sheep, wheat, and ore. It's used for so many things. And wow, okay, we'll keep an eye on that. There goes a 10. Okay, thankfully I get a bunch of cards. They still do get science bonus. They'll take a lumber. Wow, they had medicine. So now they have 4 cities on the board, and their production is just gonna be crazy now. I also have 4 cities on the board, but if you just look at Green's setup, it's so good, especially if they get an inventor and swap out one of their 11s. Wow, they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with. Okay, there goes a 4. Green is getting even more sheep and cloth. I get nothing except for a science bonus. And green won the Defender of Catan there. Wow, so they're tied with me. If they steal a metropolis from me, I'm gonna be in a really bad spot. Okay, so I did a trade with red so I could build some ships on this turn. There goes a 5. Wow, now green has so much cloth and sheep, and they have wheat. I'm gonna have to use my spy. I have to use it on green. Hopefully I can. Okay, there's merchant. I'm stealing merchant. I know they have diplomat, but I have to take the merchant so I can get it away from them, pull them back down a victory point, boost me ahead. And I got some things I have to try to do in these next few turns. I do need to protect my metropolises, but I need to get to one of those extra islands, because green has a very slight chance. If they work down from their 8 brick, they could work down to that brick hex that red is touching right now with their ships. And if they get down there, they'll probably end up taking longest road and get 3 extra victory points with a settlement placement on that brick hex. So I gotta try to get on that sheep hex over here with the 4. Finally benefit off of 4, other than science bonus. and boost me up. That would put me at 16 victory points if I can build on that 4 sheep hex. So that's why I'm going for that, and hopefully I can get the victory before green is able to steal a metropolis from me. So let's see what they're gonna roll. It's gonna be another 5. They have to have like at least 6 cloth right now. It's insane. And okay, this is actually really bad. They just used resource monopoly. They stole some wheat. So they have a wheat port, they have a sheep port, they have a I stole merchant from them, so they just have the 2 ports. But additionally, they have the trade bonus, which allows them to trade any two commodities at a 2-4 rate. So all that cloth they have that they're not using anymore because they already have that yellow metropolis, they can just trade that cloth in for other commodities. And I might be in a bad spot here. I might be losing metropolis here, guys. I think it's 9. They just traded in for 9 paper. Who is able to do that? Have you ever had a game where someone just traded in for nearly 10 of the same commodity? There goes my green metropolis. It was a good run, but now it goes over to green. They're at 13 victory points now. They have 2 metropolises. And additionally, they're just like, you know what? To rub it in extra, let me take longest road. They still only have 5, and if I can connect up my 2 road systems, I can take the longest road back, take it away from them. So right now, that is what I have to do, because they're only at level 2 in the blue city improvements. So my blue metropolis is safe for now, but I really have to take longest road because they are 2 victory points away from winning. There goes a 6th road, and they're 1 road away from connecting up with their other 1 road system. Wow. Of course, I gotta take a brick because I'm not built. Well, I am built on a brick hex now. I'm on 3 brick, but I see there's a higher probability of a 2, 8, or 10 lumber being rolled over my singular 3 brick hex. Okay, what am I gonna roll? I don't have alchemist, so that sucks. I roll a 7. Of course, I have to shut down green. There's a slight chance I could steal a brick from them, but it'll probably be a sheep or a wheat because they had so much of that. Put it right on the 5. I get a lumber, so that's actually not bad. And I see that I also have bishop, so I'm going to steal more cards in this same turn. But green is all out of cards, but I still got to use bishop and steal something, right? Because this is such a critical point in the game. Longest road it's got to be taken from the leading player. It just has to be. So if I can get longest road here on this turn, then there's still hope. I'm coming down to the wire here late in the game. I'm going to connect up my road systems. That's going to put me hopefully at 7. There it is. And you see in my hand I have a lumber and a sheep, so I can additionally get a sheep out on the board and be that much farther ahead in longest road. Okay, a nice 9 gets rolled. Green will get science bonus, but I will get 4 wheat, so not a bad roll for that. Now they're going to roll a 6. Okay, that's better for me. Still is okay for green. So they have 3 cards. They're going to pass their turn. They probably can't do anything. Oh man, but it looks like green is in the running for Defender of Catan, so that's going to just push them up to 14 victory points. So I'm really hoping that purple will take Defender of Catan, or at least tie with green, and that way I can focus on longest road and getting on that extra island. And that 7 was so bad for me. I had to burn all those cards, and wow, that's just a bad spot. Because I could have on my turn right here, I probably could have gotten a settlement. There goes another 7. What is going on? So it's medicine, but I've already built all 4 of my cities, so that's not helpful whatsoever. Green has also built all 4 of their cities, so I'm not worried about them stealing my medicine with a spy. They'll probably take commercial harbor or intrigue. Ay, ay, ay. So I guess I have to take commodities from people no matter what. Although it seemed early in the game, green could have taken my paper with commercial harbor, but they didn't. So I don't know how they got out of that one. I thought well, I guess you don't have to steal a commodity from every single player if they have one. And there goes my paper. And now I have nothing. Literally 0 cards, but I did secure the blue metropolis forever. I have level 5 on the blue city improvement, so that's good. What is green gonna do here? They take science bonus. Uh-oh, they connect with the roads. So they have 8 roads. I have 9 length, longest road. Irrigation. Smith. Uh-oh. Yeah, they're definitely getting Defender of Catan. So that'll put them at 14 victory points. And if they get longest road, they'll be bumped up to 16, and they'll just be 1 away. Wow, this game is very on the line right now. I gotta build on that 4 sheep. That's gonna put me up to 15 victory points. And then I gotta keep keeping longest road away from green. 7. All these 7s late in the game, just one after the other. Okay, so I have crane. That doesn't help. I have intrigue. That does not really help unless I can get 2 roads and build them around that 5 wheat and intrigue green's level 2 knight away. Maybe place one of my own knights there just to break up green's longest road a little bit. Okay, so I have realized something. My road system is wide open for green to place a road and put a knight right on the 6 ore, 5 wheat, 3 brick intersection, which would cut my longest road down by 2 roads. So I should really place a knight there. I really should, because if I don't, and if green does that, they're going to take longest road. But I got to get on this special island as well. That's going to net me 3 victory points. And that's really going to help me out here because this game is really close right now. The Barbarians are just about to invade. Green has 5 knight strength. Purple only has 4. What a shame. I'm about to pass. If purple does not roll a Barbarians, then maybe they can upgrade one of their knights. All they have to do is activate that level 1 knight off of the 6 sheep. But the critical point here is that they cannot roll Barbarians. If they do, it's going to be a bad scene here. Okay, so I built that road there to point towards green's level 2 knight, but actually looking back, I should have built the road as a defensive strategy and pointed it towards green's metropolis on the 5-11 wheat and the 6 ore so that they could not build a road in that space and then move one of their knights to cut off my road system. So that was definitely, I would say that was a mistake on my part. And there goes an alchemist. Oh, so purple didn't activate their knight? Oh my gosh. I think that's the game right there. Purple, if only they could have activated their knight with a singular wheat, tied green for Defender of Catan, so green would not have gotten up to 15 victory points. And there it goes, just like I thought. Man, that one road was, on my part, was placed in the wrong spot. Although green has 9 cards, and they could have probably built a couple more roads and taken longest road from me. Man, what a bummer. Well, thank you guys for watching. I battled it out with green, but in the end, I made a few mistakes. Who knows if I would have played it differently, if I could have actually held off green just long enough for me to make a comeback. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one, and take care.